Hey guys, so in this video today, we are going over 3 amazing exercises to strengthen your hip flexor, ways to get that hip flexor feeling strong. For those of you who seem to be stretching it out all the time or feeling like that hip flexor is really weak and painful, okay? My name is Dr. Dawn and I am working at Performance Place Sports Care. I'm just one part of the locally world famous chiropractors here in Orange County, California. And people have reached out and asked for us to make a video on some of the exercises and ways to strengthen the hip flexor. So that is what we are going over today. Some of the things that I have noticed is people try to strengthen their hip flexors without activating the core. So the core and the hip flexors are what is responsible for hip flexion itself. So bringing your hip up and also bringing your torso forward, okay? So core and hips and glutes all play a role. The hip flexor is not the only one that is responsible for those specific movements. So some of the things that I'm gonna show you today, we're gonna be going over how to, 1, get the core to do its job, so the hip flexor doesn't have to do as much. Number 2, the opposite. I have one where it's to get the hip flexor to do a little bit more of its job and to strengthen it, and get the core to just stay activated and share the load. And number 3, sometimes we just need to get the glute to turn on and to help aid in hip movement altogether. So all 3 of those things can work really, really well together, okay? So if you guys like this video, if something works for you, please leave a comment below. We would love to hear which one works best. And go to our channel, like and subscribe, because we have tons of stuff for hip flexor on there. Educational videos, stretches, more exercises. So take advantage of that, you guys, okay? Stick around for the very, very last exercise because that one is my absolute favorite to do with people who have hip flexor issues. So let's get started, okay? So one of the first ones that I'm gonna do today is going to be maybe a little bit complex for some of you, but if you guys find it and practice it a little bit, you'll notice that it really, really works well, okay? So we're going to get down onto the table like so, okay? And I'm gonna be on my hands and knees like this. You guys can do this on the floor, wherever is comfortable for you, okay? And what we're gonna do is see how I curled my toes under like this, okay? So this one's going to be playing with belly wall activation while going through slight hip movements, okay? So from here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press through my hands. You see my mid-back come up a little bit. I already start to feel my core turn on slightly. From here then, I'm going to just a little bit bring my knees up off the table like so, okay? So now really activating my core, I'm just gonna hold and breathe for a second to make sure that this feels good for some of you at home, okay? You'll feel your quads turn on, you'll feel your core turn on, and your hips feel active. Hold and breathe for about 3 breaths, come down, okay? If that feels like that's all you can do from home, just do that and see what that does for you, okay? Sometimes just activating the core and keeping the hips stable and active in that position can help. And then you can progress to the next part we're about to do. So again, we're gonna start off hands and knees, push through the hands, curl the toes under, bring the knees slightly up, hold and breathe. If you feel good and you feel like you can progress, I want you to stay nice and firm through the core and bring one leg up and back down, okay? Press through the hands again, press through the toes, keep the core firm, switch, and back down. And I want you guys coming all the way like this. It's just playing with slight hip activation while keeping your core engaged, okay? Here and here, here and here. And you'll see that my torso is not rotating like crazy when I lift up. If that's happening to you guys at home, practice the hold first before you get into the movement. That is the most important part with this exercise, okay? So if you guys need to, pause the video, try this out. As always, I recommend that you guys use a test before and after. I should have mentioned this before the exercise, but I want you to use something that you know causes your pain, okay? So I have pain when I squat. Do a squat, try this, come back to the squat. If it works for your pain, not saying perfect, but progress, then use this exercise. That's the only way we're gonna know that it's the right one for you, okay? I'm gonna get into the second one now. I'm a little bit out of breath, so bear with me. In the second one, what we're going to do is we're gonna get onto our back, okay? This one is going to be playing with glute activation while going through hip motion of the opposite side, okay? So if you think about it, as we walk as humans, we need to be able to activate opposite glute while opposite hip is working and vice versa. There's tons of movements that we do as humans that we need to be able to do this efficiently. So we're gonna get on our backs like this, okay? And we're going to bring one leg up is what we're ultimately going to get into that position, okay? But let's start by first driving through the heels, keeping the core active, bring the hips up off the floor or the table and hold. If this feels good, this is where we're going to progress. We're gonna go single leg, okay? From here, I'm taking this foot, this hip that needs to be strengthened, dipping under and back up, okay? Staying firm through my left butt cheek, the one that's down. I'm not rotating at all. I'm staying firm, bringing this foot, threading the needle through or threading the thread through the needle, whatever it may be, and coming back up, okay? Here and up. I'm feeling my right hip flexor work, my left glute work together at the same time, okay? And switch sides. Whew, I don't even have to do very many before I really feel that one start to work. So this is how it looks from the other side. We're going to glute bridge up with both feet. Squeeze the booty firm at the top. Activate the core so we're not dumping into the low back. Bring one foot up. Bring it down, thread it through, and up. Staying firm through this one the entire time, okay? Pause the video, try that one at home, do it to fatigue. Stay firm through the core, see how that one feels, okay? Last one we're gonna do, this is my favorite one for hip flexor strength. So I'm gonna get down onto my back one more time. And I'm going to do right hip flexor first. This is how I'm going to set up. I'm gonna go knees up, feet up, okay? You can keep your knees as wide as you need to, whatever is comfortable for your hips, okay? But this position should not be painful. The way we're gonna activate the core and the hip in this position is one, I'm going to bring my chin to my chest and breathe out. From here, I feel my low back, drive into the table. I feel my activated core, okay? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my left hand, I'm gonna put it against the inside of my right knee, and I'm going to drive in this direction. So it's almost at like a diagonal through my knee, but I need to turn that hip flexor on to strengthen it. So I'm going to keep the resistance. I'm gonna take a break for a second and repeat. Knees up, feet up, chin to chest, breathe out. Activate, resist, hold, okay? If you guys are doing this at home and pretend I was there, I'm gonna try to pull your knees or your knee and your hand apart and you're not gonna let me. That's how much resistance I have here. I'm gonna hold and breathe. The harder you push yourself through this, the quicker you're done with this exercise, okay? So try that one at home, switch sides, see what that does for your hip flexor. And again, you guys, if any of these specific exercises for strengthening your hip flexor worked for you, please leave a comment below. We'd love to hear it. Like and subscribe to our channel because we have tons of hip flexor stuff for you. If you want to know what's causing your hip flexor pain, we have videos for that. If you want to know other exercises to strengthen that area, we have videos for that. So just go to our channel, subscribe, and in the search bar, search hip flexor, tons of videos will come up for you. If you guys would like some guidance through this, how to get your hip flexor feeling better if you have pain or to get it stronger, reach out to us. We'd love to help you. We can help guide you virtually or in person, whatever works best for you, but you have to reach out and let us know so we can help you. Talk to you soon.